Fashion Business School CVs are almost always one page. It's a really important aspect that you have a lot of white space, that you give it a lot of breathing room. Employers have really no time at all to look at your CV, so making things as clear and as spaced out as possible is really important. We really advocate using bullet points rather than paragraphs. No photo, no personal details. Really get used to the idea that it's going to be a flexible document. So it's great to have a template, and that's what we work towards, but get used to the idea of chopping and changing it depending on the job you're applying for. So if you're applying for more buying and merchandising kind of roles, then you want to include more analytical skills, Excel perhaps, but marketing, perhaps more interpersonal skills, teamwork, time management and things like that. So do kind of get used to the idea of having lots of versions of your CV that tailor to different roles.
We encourage everyone to have a one-page, really clear and concise CV. We've got a really useful template that you can use for that. However, we completely appreciate that many of you want to put your own mark on your CV. Some of you from the more creative courses, such as visual merchandising and branding and marketing, may want to make your own branding. We all know that your CV is essentially your marketing tool. It's the first thing that's going to be seen by an employer. So it's really important that you're really happy with what you showcase. A few things you can do to make your own branding on your CV is, first of all, maybe thinking about your name or your initials. Could you make that into a logo? Use that then consistently across your CV, your cover letter, perhaps across your portfolio and any online tools that you use, whether it's a website or an Instagram page. Other things you can do to make your CV stand out is maybe thinking about the font that you use. There's a lot of generic fonts that we see a lot on templates, and it's important to actually think, okay, what does this say a bit about my personality? Can I change this to make it a bit more me? Another thing you can think about is colour. Obviously some CVs will be printed out and may not look great if they're printed out on black and white when it should be colour, so you need to take that into consideration. But could you add something that says a bit about your personality? Maybe there's a vibrant colour that you like to use. Could you use that in some of the headings on your CV? If you're going to have your own brand, think about Nike, think about Chanel, all these brands where you really know that particular brand and that logo. Make sure you're using that consistently across everything. The other thing to think about is your InDesign skills, your Photoshop skills. Really great if you use that for your CV and your cover letter, because it will showcase straight away to an employer that you've got those technical skills. And you might write that on your CV as well, but they'll be able to see that straight away.
As a final year, your CV should be very much more tailored to the company. You're going up against a vast amount of other applicants, so showing some company knowledge and branding is really important. As you now have more experience, you can go on to 2 pages, but most employers do prefer 1 page initially anyway. As in terms of your general search, it's really important to be more strategic, so perhaps you could have an Excel spreadsheet or a list to keep a track of who you're applying to, how you've changed it, perhaps a name you have, the date you sent it, to follow up as well. And at this stage, it's really important to provide a more tailored approach, so it isn't a case of including everything on your CV, it's very much a highlight of what's relevant to the job.